Hey, I'm Pascal. This is a vlog. I think a handful of these vlogs are probably going to be rants, but I'm hoping that in doing this frequently, there will be some gems of goodness, I would hope. I'm feeling as we're about to roll into the new year, now's a really good time to get back into the habit of sharing some of the behind the scenes stuff. So a few months back, we decided that we would pivot our company. Our company's called Thinko. We started as what we were calling it, a computer entertainment studio. And so this was really just doing fun stuff with computers, doing client work, doing stuff for fun. And we were doing like a combination of client work and then taking the profits from the client work and then reinvesting them into internal projects. We also got sick of just doing, normal apps. Those are, we've done them for a while. It's the same shit. You just put a rectangle next to a rectangle or inside a rectangle and you do a bunch of thinking about how to trick people into touching those rectangles. And I think there's just more fun stuff to do with computers, you know? Don't get me wrong, it's fun to fuck around on Twitter and shitpost and talk about design systems and stuff, but I'm more interested personally in making computers do things that they weren't really designed to do. That's where it's fun to make computers hallucinate beautiful art. And ultimately, client work is, when you're doing a company like this, it's a means to an end, and we weren't really interested in doing an agency because the margins, the economics of it are just honestly not really worth it and not work that we were particularly excited to do. But it was a fun way to be able to do a company without raising money. And then about halfway in, we raised a small amount of money so we could focus on internal projects and learned a ton. Then also realized that we didn't want to keep raising more money to focus on some of those projects. So we went back into funding it ourselves again. Out of that time that we were just splitting with client and internal projects, we found this consistent theme, and the consistent theme was that we were excited about animation and animation technology, and then obviously creating that technology to be able to make fun stuff. We like doing fun things with computers. And animation, I think, is one of the most fun things, one of the most fun art forms that you can create with a computer. We decided to pivot from being a client services studio into being an animation studio. And, probably still doing some sort of commissioned projects, but only the ones that are fun and are inside the spirit of what we're interested in. So things that are a little more like collaborations. I figured we'd start vlogging again for a few reasons. One is that there is such a healthy feeling to releasing. And I think putting videos on the internet is a great way to feel release. It becomes a really good feedback loop as well. You release stuff, people see it, they give you feedback or comments, and you get to see how people respond to stuff, and then you can integrate that back into your work, and it's a tight iterative loop. It's really easy to spend time on projects and then just never release. You work on something for months and months, or if not a year, and then it all kind of builds up to one major release, and then you gotta start again. And it can be disheartening when you're making stuff and it just doesn't really see the light of day. And I think another great symptom to vlogging is that you hold yourself more accountable. Your goals are public. You kind of feel this pressure to remain consistent with what you say you're gonna do. And I guess one other thing is that it starts to attract people that are like-minded, and they kind of come out of the woodwork in the best way. Potential collaborators, or even inspire someone or give them the little push that they need to spin up their own projects, which I think is a great energy to put out into the world. We're definitely inspired by some of our friends like Charles Foreman, Casey Neistat, Kevin Perry, who posts some cool behind the scenes stuff. All those folks are great, and I think it's awesome to be able to see process. I think that's something that isn't really shared enough. So we're gonna try to post videos pretty frequently, showing some of the behind the scenes stuff that's going on as we're developing shows, technology, some of our strategy around modeling an animation studio, maybe some of the fundraising stuff, which is pretty cool and interesting. And then obviously the stuff that we make. making the stuff to make the stuff is also really fun, and we're excited to share that. I have no sense of how many people are going to end up watching these things, but even if it's just a handful of people, and that handful of people are cool and interesting and get inspired or want to reach out and talk to us, it makes it totally worth it. We were vlogging a little bit in an earlier iteration of the company when it was called Totally Viable, and we were building a sort of product studio, kind of like a new version of the old incubator that I used to work at called Elapath. Totally Viable was a project that me and Jacob, my partner Thinko, and Alan Yu were working on, where we would try to be as transparent about every part of the process. I mean, to the point where we even built this crazy homepage for Totally Viable where our Slack conversations were public. Like the entire Slack was just live mirrored onto the website. And that was cool. We got a number of interesting people that reached out because we were doing that type of project. Anyway, I guess I'm a vlogger now. I'm sure you'll see some of Jacob, my business partner, as well, and some of the other folks that are working on the studio with us. I'm not going to tell you to like and subscribe. You can use your own brain. But yeah, thanks for watching this vlog. I never know how to end these things. Goodbye.